And let's welcome Kirk. I'll have you get your slides. Do you have it? Yeah, please. All right.
Thanks. Okay, I'm going to explain why I have the YoloBox Mini laying there later on. So my name is Kirk, and I have no background in broadcasting. Now, for my church, I used to always take pictures since 2005. I really enjoyed the singing and the sermon, so I wanted to figure out a way, how can I do more than just capturing pictures? And then I thought about, okay, you know, I know about YouTube. I didn't exactly know how to stream to YouTube, and I didn't have like any subscribers. I think back then you had to have like a certain amount of subscribers before they allowed you to do streaming. So I don't know if anyone heard of this. There's a website called ustream.tv where you can stream to. So I found out about Ustream TV, and then there was a box, an encoder called the Cerebro Live Shell. So that's the first purchase that I made in order to stream. So the first thing I did, I didn't care about, you know, like having like the little ticker, and I had no vocabulary about broadcasting. I used to just call those things the ticker, you know, the lower thirds. I didn't know what, I've never heard of lower thirds. So it's not until like later on, I think I saw Anthony's videos where I heard the term lower thirds. So my goal was just to just broadcast the church service. I didn't care about the little ticker. You know, I would see all these fancy equipment, and I would say to myself, my God, those things are expensive. I can't afford that. I can't compete. So my first shot at the live stream was the Cerebro Live Shell. And then I had this big shoulder camera, the Panasonic AGACP 8P. I used to put it on my shoulders, and I, you know, have the Cerebro Live Shell on top of the camera, and I'll do my little streaming to Ustream, and then sometimes I'll mount the camera on a tripod. And I want it to be professional, so you know, in my church, it's not just the preacher that's preaching. You know, you have the choir, then you have someone that'll come up and read the Bible text. So I want it to be a little professional, so I started, you know, moving the camera slowly instead of like, you know, moving it fast and having that crazy look that'll make people dizzy. So I thought I was like, you know, in business here with the Cerebro Live Shell. So this was in 2015. Then around 2019, I saw this equipment, right? And I know there's a few there are a few of you who are SlingStudio users. And I saw this, and the first thing I did is I rented it. I rented it just to see how this thing worked. I still use that shoulder mount camera, and I put the cam link on top of that camera. So now I have the hub, which is like the main controller, and then, you know, you'd use like I think an iPad to do some controlling. And I like this because you know, there were no wires, and I could use my old cell phones as a camera source. You know, that worked out well. But after, you know, I think towards the ending of 2020, during the pandemic, and I think a little bit closer to 2021, I noticed that it was very difficult to get these cam links, and if you wanted to add like another camera, it would cost like a lot of money. And for some reason, it's like, you know, I don't know if the company was going out of business or if they were still in business. I just saw, chatter on the internet saying that they're no longer in business, but they still had their website up. So you would assume that they were still in business. So, hold and behold, I would see, I was still doing my search, and then I saw this YoloBox, and I was like, you know what, this looks, I'm thinking about it, but it didn't have all the inputs that I wanted. I wanted at least 3 inputs for like 3 different cameras. It didn't have a way of using your cell phone to connect to it. So I was like, you know what, I won't get this thing. It looks more like a toy. And then hold and behold, okay, so these are the different cameras that I have. So now, you know, as time went by, I noticed that the YoloBox became, they brought out something else, the YoloBox Pro. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what, I think this might be able to do it. So I started looking at the internet, and I kept seeing this Anthony Barocas talking about the YoloBox. So, you know, he just became my teacher and didn't know it. So I'd watch his video, and then I see some of the testimonies from other YoloBox users. So you know what, I said to myself, all right, let me go ahead and get the YoloBox Pro. And I'm telling you, once I got this YoloBox Pro, it was like heaven. And now I still had a problem because I had this SlingStudio. I'm like, how do I get rid of this thing? Because it's like a dead box. So I put it on eBay and I was like, okay, let me press my luck and see what happens. So I was able to get rid of it for like half the price. So I took the proceeds and put it towards paying off the YoloBox Pro. Okay, and so with the YoloBox Pro, I was able to get like different cameras now to add on to my my little gig. And like I said, I was just doing it for church. But then I do woodworking, so they're like retired people who are into scroll sawing. They just turning wood into art. They can make different things. So I wanted to help them, and most of them, they were all retired. So I would just live stream my woodworking meeting. They meet once a month, the last Saturday of every month. And as a matter of fact, I have all that equipment there because I just came from doing a live stream. And here's the reason why I love the YoloBox products. The doors open up at the rec center because that's where the meetings are at 9 o'clock. The meeting starts at 9:30. I can set up the YoloBox and 2 or 3 cameras within 15 minutes and get ready to stream by 9:30. There's no other product that I see in the market that allows you to do something like that. Now, I really enjoyed the YoloBox Pro, but then I wanted, just like everyone else who owns a YoloBox, you wanted to do more. And then before the Ultra came out, there was another product. I hope can I mention another product? Okay. So then I saw the Major Director One. I was like, man, this looks pretty enticing. So I think Frank reached out to me because I think he saw that I got the Major and he thought maybe I lost faith in the YoloBox, but I just wanted to try something different. And so I went with the Major, but there's what the Major doesn't have is the fact that the YoloBox products, it's an ecosystem, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. So I enjoyed the Major. I keep it as a like a backup if I want to do certain things. I mean, it's just about the same size of the YoloBox Mini, right? And so after getting the YoloBox Pro, I decided to get the Mini because I wanted something that was portable. Anytime my church would have some type of event and I just want to just capture maybe like some singing, I'd have to carry this big brick of a camera, the shoulder mount. It was just too much to carry around. So I got the YoloBox Mini and then another small camera. It was the Canon XA40. I would just mount this on top of my XA40 and I can just be portable. And now with the Mini, I saw the Ultra, and because I got the Major, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and sell this Mini and go for the Ultra. I did everything to get rid of this thing. I tried to put it on eBay. I put it on Facebook Market. I couldn't get rid of it. So I was like, you know what? Maybe God has shown me a sign. So I held on to it. Now, here's the reason why I'm not going to get rid of this thing. No matter how bad people talk about it, I mean, it's still good. So in my church, inside the church, we have our functions, but sometimes there's activities going on outside. And I try to use, those wireless extenders like Hollyland. But the problem is, it can't go through the brick wall. So sometimes I'll go outside and then everything becomes pixelated. Now, here's the beauty of where this comes in. I can start my live streaming on my YoloBox Ultra, right? And let's say I have a specific channel for the church. I get that started. I take the YoloBox Mini and I will live stream it to another YouTube channel, but I make it private. And now the reason why I do this is that YoloBox Ultra can now see this YoloBox Mini as another input. And I have like I bring my T-Mobile 5G home router and I have it plugged in on the outside. And now I can, record, capture everything that's going on the outside, and I could just call someone, hey, go ahead and switch it, switch that YoloBox Ultra to what's going on outside. So people can now see what's going on inside and outside. Now, if I want, I can also, let's say when there's like a big event, in a church and all the congregation, they're inside the hall and a guest person is coming from, let's say, the airport, I can take this with me. As long as I have an internet connection, I can, capture the entire drive from the airport, and then once I get to the church, I can just switch over to that main, streaming system. And this is the reason why I like the YoloBox product, because it has that nice ecosystem. There's no other box out there that has anything like this, right? And so now, I'm not going to use the term I, as Ty mentioned. You have to use that term we, because you don't want to look like, you're a solo. I'd always have to rely on other people to help me sometimes with the camera, and people became so unreliable. And then, I got the Obsbot Tail 2 PTZ camera, and I can have like presets, so I can sit there. I'm just like a one-man show and change different camera angles without having to worry about someone panning, tilting, doing anything for me. So I can sit in one location, just like I did with this the scroll saw setup, and just sit there and switch cameras without even having to rely on anyone to do anything for me. And this is the reason why I love the YoloBox products. They're great. It's great. And so I started off as a simple, person just trying to get a church event live, and I didn't care about like the lower thirds. But once I got the vocabulary, what I did too is I use ChatGPT, and I asked it to give me a list of terms that every broadcaster should know and explain it to me like a 12-year-old. And I did just that. So every time I hear a new term, I don't want a complicated explanation. Just explain to me like I'm a 12-year-old child, and I can perfectly understand it. And that's what I do. I just build up that vocabulary. So when I watch Anthony's shows on YouTube live, I mean, it's like a classroom. It's like a university. I sit there, take notes. If I hear a term that I don't know, I jot it down, look it up. Ty mentioned something about LUTs. I always hear people talk about LUTs. I was like, what is this LUTs thing? Then once I got, ChatGPT again, explain to me like I'm a 12-year-old and provide pictures to make it simple for me. And that's what I do. And, just coming here, it really gives me like motivation to even do more. And Frank and team, just continue, listening to your users like you normally do, and make improvements. And, we love the YoloBox Mini. But if, I know you've heard this before, but, we love this. You don't have to change it, because everyone has like their own purpose, right? This is good, but it'll be nice if it had like, 4K and maybe like a faster processor. I mean, right now, I still wouldn't get rid of this, because it does wonders. I mean, I can use this, I can take it somewhere, and I can go live and look professional. I have the Osmo Pocket 3, so even if I'm moving around like this or tilting and shaking, the audience wouldn't be able to tell. Everyone is used to like professional, carrying like this huge camera. I mean, I was surprised when I saw a reporter reporting the news, and they were using this little thing right here, and I'm like, wow, this is just amazing. So keep making good products, and you'll help us out a lot. And that's my presentation. Yeah. Any questions?
How did you figure out your lower third?
How do I figure out? Okay, so I want to chat GPT. I was like, okay, what is this lower third stuff? Then I said, that's what they call that stuff, the ticker. And then YoloBox, they have some nice lower thirds. But then I went online, and I think it was, I don't know, it was from someone mentioned Uno before, and I just kind of like skipped over it. And then until like I tried it, and I was like, oh my God, man, this thing is sweet. I mean, if you look at those like the news, they have those lower thirds. I mean, it looks beautiful. It makes someone like me, who's a novice, you look like a professional. And I gotta mention, the YoloBox Ultra, being able to stream in 4K. I mean, oh my God, the picture quality is just, God. Not everyone streams in 4K, because most of my users, they're using their phones. But I think about 20 or 30% they're using their TV. And I just got rid of my old, I had a projection TV, so I was just getting 1080p. Then I upgraded, and my TV does 4K. And when I see the videos that I do, I'm like, oh my God, man, who's this engineer that does this? Yeah. Yep. Any other questions? All right, that's it.
All right. Great story.